Ся туманом у тумані на могилі.
When I talk amongst my fellow artists, I think an artist by design is someone that is empathetic. I think the whole thing about the war in Ukraine is bad enough, and knowing that really there's not a lot we can do other than, donate money and stuff. But I also have a friend out there, a fellow artist. I met her some years ago. She came over to the UK. She was an animal artist, and she is also a zoologist. So she worked at the zoo at the time. When the war broke out, she found herself in a really tricky situation because they couldn't get into the zoo to feed the animals. They had to really dodge bullets really to just be able to do their job. And being a fellow animal lover, as I am as well, my heart just went out to her. She had a young daughter out there, and she, it was just an awful time for her. So it meant that I could obviously give something back. And if it helped to raise funds to help people like her, then absolutely fantastic. It's a no-brainer.
Tell me a little bit about how much it did raise and why it made the raffle a great success.
Well, I believe that we were just shy of £3,000 when the actual total came in, which is just phenomenal, absolutely incredible. It was the biggest canvas I've ever painted for sure, but I wanted it to have an impact on the night, and as it was a very busy evening, and with the painting set up on the easel, I think if it hadn't been the size it was, it would have been missed. So it did have an impact on the night. The guy that actually won the painting told me the story of him and his wife who used to travel to Spain every year in a camper van, and they used to pass through the sunflower fields, and so his wife sadly departed, but it brings back absolutely wonderful memories of his time when they used to travel together. So just really, really touching that he's now going to have it on his wall and be able to think about his wife. He even brought a tape measure with him because he had a space on his wall that he'd sort of earmarked to put a painting up. He didn't know he was going to win that one, obviously, but he just wanted to make sure that it was going to fit in that space. So, it was next to the window where his wife loved to look out and on the garden. So really, really lovely.
There were two key figures in this performance. There was one, Rory Bremner. Anybody over the age of 40 will know who he is.
Yeah.
Anybody under that age probably hasn't got a clue.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the UK's finest impersonators.
Oh, he was just absolutely incredible, wasn't he? He was about 120 people on the night. It was just phenomenal. Yeah.
Speed of delivery, the impressions itself.
Yeah, crazy.
So my memory was that, in his impersonation style, he talked about the Venezuelan president, but deliberately, rather like Trump, described him as President Manjaro. Of course, a weight loss drug.
Oh, honestly.
Rather than the correct name of him.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
But that's his humour. That's his brilliance.
Yeah. Well, I think the audience on the night definitely got him. Though, I think we were all of an age where we could appreciate all of the impressions that he managed to do on the night.
Okay.
And the speed of delivery was just off the scale.
As great as that performance was, and the audience was in stitches, there was another Ukrainian singer. He was classically trained in opera in Italy, so he sung for our pleasure, but it's what he said about what had happened in his life that was emotionally very hard-hitting indeed, and would have helped. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the story goes that he was shot 5 times and nearly died. They managed to get him to a hospital pretty quickly. It was a German hospital, I believe.
I think he got his initial treatment, as I recall, in Ukraine, but was then probably airlifted out to Germany. And basically saved his life.
Absolutely. But the fact that he survived that and then could still sing with such power and emotion was just... it was just incredible. His voice was beautiful, wasn't it? It just made the night so special.
I know that it was down to your commitment and your skills that the evening was so successful for Macclesfield Ukrainian Aid.
Well, I think that you're putting too much on me there, but I think the whole night was perfect. I'm really, really thrilled to have been part of it.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, if I can never do anything else like that, I would be honoured to be part of it. Thank you for asking me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the auditorium are now open, and this evening's show will begin in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Thank you.
What?